with NBA commentary. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a while since I made one of these, and yeah, let's start it off. The first round, real quick. A lot of the picks weren't too hard. I messed up some of my play-in picks, but first round, most of the high seeds won, and I thought the Suns could beat the Lakers. That was the only one that was sort of in question, and I did pick them, and then of course the injuries happened. Doubled down on it, and they're good. They're good. Getting into the second round, though, my picks, I gotta admit, my original picks here, the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Nets, and the Sixers. Those are my picks. Looking back, I wanted to think that the Bucks could beat the Nets. I really did. I thought they could, but after the first two games, oh my God, they look terrible. But now, with the injuries, Kyrie's out. Harden rushed back. He's not able to do much. He's kind of just a decoy out there. And the Nets still got the dubs. I mean, they're up. They're up now. They're looking like they're going to advance, which is kind of wild. The turn it took. It looked like the Nets were going to kill them. And then all of a sudden the injuries happen. It's like, all right, doors open for the Bucks, man. It's wide open for you guys. Go take it. And they just look terrible. Giannis, man, he's proven Harden right. I'm telling you. He's proven him right. He just runs and dunks. Some of the shots he was taking, oh my God, some of the threes they're just awful. He's like, and the guy was shooting like turnaround jumpers. It was terrible. It was really bad to watch. Obviously they got their game 6 tonight, and the Nets are up. The Nets are up, and I think they're gonna take this one. I don't see why they wouldn't, even without Kyrie. I mean, they're gonna have Harden again, and KD, man, KD's a legend. KD's the best player right now, best player in the world. He's been like that for a few years. That whole injury screwed him up for a bit, but he's been the best player. He really has. But let's talk about let's talk about the Suns Nuggets, because this one I really screwed up. I like the Nuggets after the first round. I don't know why. Even though beating the Blazers not too difficult. But I felt good about them, and I wasn't sold on the Suns yet. Obviously, it was a lot to pick them against the Lakers, but then they beat the Lakers when they had all these injuries, and it just didn't feel good. I just didn't feel good about them yet, but they swept them. And I take it back. I'm a full believer in the Suns now, and the crazy thing is, once I'm finally a full believer, the whole thing with CP3 happens. Like, the guy gets the 19. He gets the 19, and there's a lot of rumors going around. I mean, people were like, "Oh, I bet he's not vaccinated," you know. And then people were saying like, "Oh, he is vaccinated. He's just one of the rare cases that got it anyway," and that's just bad luck. Whatever way it is, it's just bad luck to have to get it at this point when he's on like one of the best teams that he's had, and they have a shot at a finals. Chris Paul's just always been an unlucky guy, you know. So it'll be interesting to see how long he's actually out. It'll be really interesting. But man, the Suns, I'm still a believer in the Suns. I think if they get him back, I think they could easily take either the Clippers or the Jazz. And let's get into that series last night. Last night was the Game 5. Clippers, man. Obviously, I picked the Clippers at the beginning, but after Game 4, Kawhi got hurt. You know, Kawhi got hurt, and it was the whole non-contact knee injury thing. Never looks good. It wasn't a tear, though. They say it's a sprain. Who knows how long he'll be out? It's really, it'll be interesting to see how this kind of plays out over the next few days, next few weeks. Is he ever going to come back? Who the heck knows? But Clippers, they were leading most of the game. I thought they were going to blow it towards the end, but the Jazz, Donovan Mitchell, not great down the stretch, which is no knock on him. He's been solid. He's been really good, and I've seen him make some clutch buckets before, so just an off game from him, just unlucky. George, man. Paul George had a solid game. Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson goes glasses mode out there. Starts going off. I mean, he was good. The Clippers look good overall. Now they're up 3-2. They're up 3-2, and yeah, so they're gonna be back home for Game 6, and they don't want to go back to Utah for sure. But it'll be interesting because the Jazz, I still think the Jazz are really good. I just thought they were off, and they just got behind early, and they just never recovered. But I don't know. I think the Clippers will close it out and make it to the next round, and we'll see if I don't know. I only want them to advance if Kawhi is gonna be back at some point. You know, like I want teams to be at their full strength, and the Jazz are, but they are struggling a little bit in that last game. I still think they could easily take it in LA, take it to Staples Center, bring it back home, get the W. I can definitely see that, but I'm anticipating a Suns Clippers Western Conference Final. It'll be interesting if that's the matchup, and they're both without. Suns don't have CP3, Clippers don't have Kawhi. That'd be kind of interesting. Just take away two of the top guys on their teams. Should still be a good matchup, I believe. But yeah, I think it'll be looking like Suns Clippers right now for that spot. And then let's move over to the Sixers, the 76ers. 76ers versus the Hawks. Man, Sixers gonna Sixer, man. I swear to God. They just... what a collapse that game was. Like, I was watching and they just got up. They got so far up. And, like, I almost turned it off. Sometimes I'll turn it off and just, like, go do something else real quick. And it was the early game, so I was like, I'll just go do something else real quick. And then I'll come back for the second game. And I didn't. And I was like just like half watching, and he just slowly came back. I think it was a 44-19 run. The Hawks went on to win it. Oh my God, what a collapse by the Sixers. And it's just, the Sixers, man, they're just disappointing. You gotta feel bad for Embiid. He's just one of the best players in the league. He's been good. MVP candidate before the injury. And he was just good this year. He was solid once again in the game. What did he have? 39? Or I know Trae Young had 39. I forget what Embiid had, but he had like 38 maybe. I don't know. But once again, he just looked really good. I mean, Capella keeps talking all this trash, but Embiid's been solid in this series. He really has. He has not been the problem at all. The problem has been max contract boy Toby Harris and the golden boy Ben Simmons. Simmons, man, you gotta be disappointed if you're a Sixers fan. The guy came into the league his rookie season. He looked really good. And it was just like, wow, if this guy is this good without a jump shot and in his rookie season, how good is he gonna be in 4 years? Well, you got your answer. The exact same. And in a way, offensively, he's regressed. He's regressed offensively. He really has. The big thing is his defense has gotten better. His defense has continued to get better. But offensively, he just hasn't moved. And he doesn't need a jump shot. He doesn't. Him and Giannis do not need jump shots. They are good playmakers on their own. They can create shots for others. They draw attention. But, you know, just how it is. Please ignore the noise outside, if that can even be heard. But yeah, the Hawks, man, Trae Young, beast. The Hawks look good. I would not mind. The thing is, I just don't think they can beat the Nets. I don't think they match up too well with the Nets. But neither did the Sixers. Honestly, the winner of that series, lost cause. Because here's the thing: either the Nets will take down the Bucks, which I still think will happen, and they'll just crush whoever they play, or the Bucks will somehow figure out how to, they'll step it up a little bit into the Eastern Conference Final. Hopefully Bud doesn't hold them back. But I still think they would beat either the Hawks or the Sixers. But yeah, so final predictions. I think, man, I picked the Sixers originally, but I gotta think the Hawks are gonna advance here. I really do. 3-2 lead is huge. I think they're gonna advance. So I think it's gonna be Hawks Nets, and then obviously Suns are already through. Suns Clippers at this point. None of those are crazy predictions. All the teams I picked are up 3-2. So wow, crazy. Really really sharing my expertise here. But yeah, and then let's say all right, conference finals, Suns Clippers. Here's the thing, Clippers, my original pick to go the whole way. I picked them last year. They disappointed me. For some reason, I picked them again. So I gotta think the Clippers. It'll be interesting to see with the injuries. Is Kawhi out? Because Kawhi is the killer on that team. Paul George has been good. He's been good, but they're gonna need Kawhi. Especially if they go up against the Nets, which the Nets, I think, will beat the Hawks. Unfortunately, it'd be cool to see the Hawks. It'd be cool to see, like, Hawks Suns. Honestly, I'd be kind of down for that. I feel like it wouldn't be good for, like, casual fans. I don't think they'd want to tune into that. I think, LA versus New York would be the better one. Obviously, that's what the media wants, but I think it'll be interesting. But I think it'll be Clippers Nets, and I think Kawhi, PG, they're gonna take it to the big three. Who knows if Kyrie's even back at that point? I would assume that if he misses the rest of the second round and the conference finals, that he would be back for the finals. Ankle sprain. They didn't release, or they might have released it, and I didn't see it, but we don't know how serious it is. But sprains, they vary. It's not like he broke his ankle, So we'll see. We'll see if Kyrie can even come back. I don't think they need him. I think if Harden figures out how to be full strength on that hamstring and not like 50% like he was, I think if he can get back to like 80% of himself, and KD will just be KD. Imagine that matchup, KD, Kawhi, Paul George versus Harden. Like that's just exciting stuff. So that'll probably I would prefer that one over Suns Hawks, but I wouldn't mind Suns Hawks at all. But let's see. Nets or Clippers. It's tough. I feel like if I don't pick the Nets, that I'm still just kidding myself. You know what I mean? But I like the Clippers, man. I feel like if they beat the Suns, they'll be back. They'll be in the finals. I mean, Kawhi's gonna do his thing. They're gonna be feeling themselves. I think if they make the finals, I think they'll believe that they can take them down. For sure. But that's a tough one. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you think's winning it. But I gotta say the Nets are gonna take it. Just because I think their Eastern Conference Final matchup is favorable, and Harden, as long as Harden doesn't like re-injure himself to the point where he can't play, I think they'll have him, and Kyrie should be back for the finals. So we'll see.